Hey guys, welcome back to a new biology resumption video. So today we are going to attempt the Cambridge IGCSE Biology Paper 2 Multiple Choice Extended October-November 2023 Paper 2 Variant 1. So there are 40 questions in this paper. If there are any questions or any errors, please do let me know in the comment section below. I will clarify and respond to you as soon as possible. So let's start off with the first question. Some processes carried out by living organisms are listed. So we have digestion, excretion, reproduction, and respiration. Which processes are carried out by all living organisms? So this has to correspond with Mr. Grant. So which is movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, and nutrition. Alright, so let's know which one is the correct answer. So for egestion, it's definitely no. We have excretion, reproduction, and we have respiration. So the answer is C. Question 2. The scientific name for humans is Homo sapiens. What does Homo refer to? So Homo is basically this one, which is the genus. The genus is always capitalized, okay? Question 3. Some structures found in the cells are listed. Which structures are found in prokaryotic cells? Okay. So prokaryotic cells are like bacteria, alright? So what do they have? So they have a cell membrane, they have a cell wall, but they have no mitochondria and no nucleus. Alright, so the correct answer is A. Question 4. In the mesophyll cell, where are chloroplasts found? So if you can see in the plant cell, right? Okay, we have the vacuole, we have the cytoplasm, and we typically can see the all of the chloroplasts being laid out here, here, here. This is supposed to be how it looks like, and the nucleus is at the center. So where is it located? Since this is the vacuole, this would be the cytoplasm. So the answer for this question is B. Question 5. The diagram shows a flatworm. The flatworm has been magnified by times 100. So what is the actual size of the flatworm? So let's use the formula IM. So I'm going to find the actual size. So I will take this one, which is the 15 millimeter. I will times by 1000 to convert it into micrometer, and I divide by 100. So the answer is 500 micrometer. Question 6. The diagram shows how a cell appears under the microscope at the start of an experiment and after it has been placed in a dilute solution of salts for 5 minutes. So which statement explains what happened? Okay. You can see the start of the experiment is this kind of shape. But after it's placed in a dilute solution of salt, what happens is that water enters. Okay? From a higher concentration to a lower concentration because it's a dilute solution. Therefore, the water enters the cell by osmosis. How you know is also because of the cell itself. It has become more turgid. That's the answer, C. 7. The concentration of nitrate ions is higher inside a root hair cell than in the soil. What will be required for the absorption of nitrate ions into the root hair cell? Alright. The key thing is that this absorption of nitrate ions is by active transport. And we know active transport requires energy. It requires membrane proteins or carrier proteins, and also the presence of oxygen. So the answer for this one is obviously 1, 2, and 3. If you're wondering, why do I have O2? If I have O2, I can undergo aerobic respiration inside the mitochondria to produce ATP. So this is the reason why 1, 2, and 3 is the answer. Question 8. What is the color change shown by a Benedict solution when heated with a reducing sugar? Okay, this basically is telling you like what is the positive color change, okay, when it's heated. So since they show you two different color, they want you from initial to final color. So the initial color of Benedict solution is blue color. So A and B is correct. But the final, since it's heated under reducing sugar, I will form a positive Benedict solution test. Therefore, red color is my result. Purple is for Burette test, which is for protein. So the answer is B. Question 9. The diagram shows the digestive system. Which part absorbs the most water? Okay. We only can filter it out to two things only. Most water being absorbed is typically the intestines. But then, which one is it? The large one or the small one? The answer is the smaller one. Okay, because the smaller one, they have a lot of villas, therefore they can absorb water much easily due to their larger surface area. So the answer for this question would be D. Question 10. Which statement is correct? Alright, let's just have a read. A says the active site of an enzyme has the same shape as a substrate. No. Okay, but they need to be complementary. That's the key word. B. The active site is not affected by changes in temperature. No. The active site do change when temperature changes, either go past the optimum temperature or very, very low temperature. If after its optimum temperature, the heat will cause the active site to change shape. The shape of the active site of an enzyme is complementary to the substrate. This is the answer. Okay, but the last one, the substrate and product combine at the active site. No, it's only the substrate only. This one is not. So the answer is C. Question 11. The graph shows how the rate of photosynthesis of a plant changes with light intensity at 3 different carbon dioxide concentration. In each case, the temperature is 15 degrees. What is the limiting factor for the rate of photosynthesis at point X on the graph? Okay. The only thing, we know light intensity is the x-axis. This is the key limiting factor that happens here. But what changes the graph to have a difference, right, is the carbon dioxide concentration. And you can see that it changes. So for X, right, they are pointing on the stationary point, the stationary graph, meaning this changes is due to the carbon dioxide concentration. Okay? Question 12. The diagram shows a test tube at the start and at the end of an enzyme experiment. So if an enzyme and substrate 10 minutes with a temperature of 35 degrees and we form the enzyme and products. At the end of the experiment, the mixture in the test tube contains glycerol. Which row identifies the enzyme and the substrate it acts on? Glycerol is actually the products of fats or lipids. So the enzyme will be lipase, amylase is out, and is fat. So the correct answer is C. Question 13. The diagram shows the teeth in the lower jaw of a human. Which tooth is a molar? Okay. So when I tell you a molar, it's not the premolar, it's basically the big molar. So in the front is the incisors, the C is the canine, the A is premolar, and D is the molar. So the answer is D. Question 14. What is meant by chemical digestion? Okay, let's have a read of all of the answers. Large insoluble molecules are broken down into small soluble molecules. Okay, sounds right. Maybe. Large soluble molecules are broken down into small insoluble molecules. This doesn't make sense at all. When you break down from a larger molecule to a smaller molecule, it must be able to dissolve in water or anything in the bloodstream. So this is out. Small insoluble molecules are built up into large soluble molecules. No. Small soluble molecules are built up into large insoluble molecules. This is also wrong. So the answer is A. Digestion is always from a larger to a smaller. And another thing is that the smaller one, which has been broken down, must be soluble. Question 15. The diagram shows the villus in the small intestine. What is absorbed at X? Okay, X is pointing at this basically, which is actually the lacteal. So what does the lacteal do? Absorb fatty acids. So the answer is A. Question 16. What is the description of transpiration? Transpiration, the key word we have is water vapor, evaporation, and typically the stomata of the leaf. So let's check all the answers that we have here. Exchange of gases between the leaf and the atmosphere. No. Loss of water vapor from the leaves of the plant. Maybe. Movement of water from the roots to the leaf. No. Movement of water through the cells of the leaf. No. So the answer is B. Question 17. Parts of a plant are listed. What is the pathway taken by water in the plant? So they start on from the root, definitely. So let's find out the correct answer. So it always starts from the roots. This is the first one. Then what it goes next is the root cortex, because root. Then third is by the xylem vessel, because the xylem is a tissue that can transport water and mineral ions. Then it reaches the mesophyll cell. So the answer for this question is D. Question 18. The diagram shows the single circulation of fish and the double circulation of a mammal. Which letter represents area with the most oxygenated blood? Okay, they give you both the fish circulation and also the mammal circulation. So for let's see the mammal circulation first, since it's the most obvious one. So the most oxygenated blood is when we inhale. So it's always at the pulmonary vein, which is at Y. It has the most O2 concentration. So Y is our first answer. So we only have two options left. So now let's see the gill capillaries. So we have the atrium, we have the ventricle, and we have the gill capillaries and the body capillaries. Since this one is going at such a long distance, it means that it might be going to other parts of the body, and then this shows that they are able to hold most oxygenated blood, and it's also on their way to the atrium, which is actually almost the same to the atria of the mammalian heart. So the answer for this question would be B. Question 19. What is the role of lymphocytes in the blood? Lymphocytes helps to produce antibodies. So the answer is A. Question 20. A patient was injected with antibodies after being bitten by a poisonous snake. The patient recovered and survived. What describes the effect of the injection in the body? So the keyword here is injected with antibodies. And if you have read about this chapter, it is by passive immunity. So when you talk about passive immunity, there will be always no memory cell produced. So let's check the answer. Let's cross out all about active immunity and tick the ones that is correct. And then this is also out. This is correct. Memory cells produced, they don't produce memory cells. So this is out, correct. So the answer is D. Alright, which table correctly shows the difference in composition of inspired air compared with expired air? Alright, let's just have a quick look on this. Alright, when inspired air, there is less oxygen and less carbon dioxide? This is wrong, but this is kind of correct. Expired air, there's definitely not more oxygen, but there is more carbon dioxide. Therefore, this answer is still wrong. It has to satisfy all the condition. Inspired air, there's less oxygen, so I think this is pretty much wrong already if you see. So this is cross out this also. C, there is more oxygen, less carbon dioxide, less oxygen, and more carbon dioxide. We might have found our answer C. But look at D. There is more inspired air, but more carbon dioxide? No. So this is out already. So the answer is C. Question 22. Which row shows the correct combination of muscle contraction and the pressure in the thorax when breathing out? So this is exhalation. So when you exhale, what happens is that your body will, intercostal muscles will begin to contract, and you know that muscles are antagonistic muscle, that one contracts and one relaxes, so this one is correct. The diaphragm is relaxed and the pressure in thorax it becomes higher, so the answer is B. Question 23. 3 statements about anaerobic respiration are listed. Which statements are correct? Let's see. In humans, the product is lactic acid. Correct. In yeast, the product is lactic acid. No, it should be alcohol or ethanol. It releases more energy per glucose molecule than aerobic respiration. No, only aerobic produces more. So the answer for this question is C. Question 24. What is the balanced chemical equation for a type of respiration that occurs in yeast? Yeast will produce alcohol. So let's check which is the correct alcohol formula. So this one is out, this is out. We see the answer. Whenever you see OH, this shows this is alcohol. So the answer is C. For this one, it's not correct because it's the other way around. The product is supposed to be alcohol. Question 25. The diagram shows the human excretory system. Which label structure is the urethra? Urethra is typically after the rectum. Okay, so this is the rectum. This is the ureter. So C is out. A definitely because this is the veins. The veins and the arteries. So A is out, B is out. Therefore, the answer is D. Question 26. The diagram shows 3 types of neurons. Which sequence shows the direction that impulses will travel during a reflex action? So a reflex action typically starts with this first, then to M, then to N. So the answer will be A. Question 27. Which statement about rods and cones in the eye are correct? Okay, let's see the answer. Both rods and cones can detect different colors of light. No, it's only cones that can detect color. Only cones are present in the blind spot. No, it's only rods that are present. Rods are more sensitive than cones in light intensity. Correct. There are 3 types of rods but only 1 type of cones. No, so the answer is C. Question 28. Which diseases can be successfully treated with antibiotics? Okay, antibiotics can only treat bacteria. So diseases caused by bacteria is correct. Rickets is not. Rickets is a deficiency of calcium or vitamin D. And disease caused by viruses is definitely not. So the answer for this question will be B. Question 29. Which statement about human sexual reproduction is correct? All gametes are haploid. Maybe that could be correct. Fertilization occurs when 2 diploid nuclei fuses. No, it should be haploid. The sperm is the male zygote. No, it's not zygote, it should be a gamete. Sexual reproduction results in haploid offspring. No, it's supposed to be diploid. So the answer is A. Question 30. Where is estrogen produced? Estrogen doesn't produce the cervix, not the oviduct, not the uterus. It's only the ovaries. They also typically it's only in the ovaries that produces this estrogen. Okay, question 31. Which row shows correct information about mitosis? Mitosis gives genetically identical cells. Okay, identical cells. So let's find. So cells produced by mitosis are genetically, so we cancel out anything with different, it should be identical. Number of chromosomes in the daughter cell compared to the parent cell, it should be the same number. Okay, so the answer is D. Question 32. Polydactyly is a condition that occurs in cats and results in affected individuals having extra toes. The diagram shows the inheritance of condition in the family of cats. What does the family tree show about the allele for polydactyly? Okay, so this one is the male, okay, male that has the polydactyly. In the end, the male also has it. And then it also matches with the female that has the polydactyly. And then its third generation also has polydactyly. In fact, they have two cats that have polydactyly. So what is the summary? In F1, there is one already. F2, there is one more. In F3, there is also one more. So what can you tell about the allele? Therefore, the allele is dominant because it has been passed down and there is certain that one of their offspring have polydactyly. Okay. Question 33. The photomicrograph shows a cross-section through the maram grass leaf. Okay, so which feature is an adaptation of a xerophyte? The presence of chloroplast? No. Xerophyte is like a cactus, you know. So presence of chloroplast doesn't matter. They want an adaptation also. The presence of fine hairs. Yes, to prevent water loss. The presence of phloem tissue, not really, and xylem vessel, not really. So the answer is B. They want an adaptation. Okay, question 34. Some statements about mutations are given. Which statements are correct? Okay, a random change in the amino acid sequence in the DNA causes gene mutation. Wrong. It should be the base sequence in DNA. A mutation is a genetic change. Correct. Ionizing radiation decreases the rate of mutation. No, it should be increases the rate of mutation. New alleles are formed by mutation. Yes, because it is a form of genetic change. So the answer for this question is D. Question 35. The graph shows the growth of a population of rabbits in one area. Which statements are correct? At X, the birth rate is higher than the death rate. Correct, because this is a log phase or an exponential phase. At X, there are no deaths and the population is limited by a lack of food. That is incorrect. At Y, the birth rate and death rate are equal. This is stationary. So therefore, 1 and 3 is correct. Question 36. In guinea pigs, the allele for black fur is dominant and the allele for white fur is recessive. A test cross can be used to determine the genotype of a guinea pig with a black fur. What would we expect the result of the test cross if the guinea pig was black fur was homozygous, meaning they have both capital. Alright, so what happened if this occurred? So I have this. If I cross all, which is 100% black because homozygous. The moment they give it the keyword homozygous, you must be referring RR already because the black fur is dominant. Okay. Question 37. The diagram shows part of the nitrogen cycle. Okay. So which row shows the correct processes for R, S, and T? Let's say denitrification. It's when it goes back to the sky into nitrogen gas already. So which one is the correct one? So if you can see, it should be process T. Okay, so this is out. Nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is when it has a nitrogen fixing bacteria where they fixate ammonia into nitrate ions. So it should be process R. And nitrification is where you convert into from a bacteria also into nitrate ions also. So this is R. So the answer is C. During eutrophication, what causes the death of the fish? Increases growth of producers? Not really. Increased photosynthesis by producers? No. Decreased concentration of carbon dioxide in the water? No. Decreased concentration of oxygen in the water? Yes, because when there is low amount of oxygen, they cannot undergo respiration, therefore no energy produced, they will die. Okay? Question 39. Which product is made using an enzyme rather than bacteria or fungi? Okay, rather than bacteria or fungi. If insulin is made from bacteria, penicillin is made from fungi. Lactose-free milk isn't, you know. So this is correct. Mycoprotein is from fungi. So the answer is C. Question 40, the last question. Some ways in which humans make use of organisms are listed. Using yeast to produce ethanol. Okay. Artificial selection of sheep with thick wool. Using bacteria to produce human substances. What are examples of genetic modification? Genetic modification is when you're using a particular organism to replicate to form something new. You basically modify the genetic sequence. So yeast is not, artificial selection is not, only one is 3. So the answer is D. Okay, so I'm finished with this paper. So I hope you enjoy this video. See you guys in the next upcoming video. Bye bye.